Hey there, we are going to do some bowl tempering. This is actually just going to be, it's my take on something that you can find a dime a dozen on the internet. It's a pretty classic way of tempering with a couple, alchemist twists, chemist twists. I'm using some water baths, a hot water bath here and a cold water bath here. It lets you take your time with this stuff a little bit more. It gives you some insulation. With that, I have to remind you, keep a set of paper towels handy. These are water baths. Water and chocolate don't mix. Be pretty meticulous and keeping everything really dry. If this is a dime a dozen on the internet, why am I doing it? Well, what I hope to do is actually, while we're going through the steps, I'm going to talk a little bit about the crystal forms that are forming as these happen. And I talked about that in great length in another video. So check that out and you may have an extra clue what I'm talking about here if you want to. You don't have to know it. I'm going to hopefully give you the physical signs of the tempering and some temperatures to know what's going on. Take a little of the mystery out of that, I hope. So anyway, what I've got here is I've been, while we're getting ready for this video, is keeping this chocolate warm. So it's out. But again, first thing, I'm going to dry this off. I don't need dripping water in anything. Pay attention to your surroundings. Work slowly. Do not rush this. I very purposefully kept this over here in case there was any water, so I'm not dripping into my bowl. Okay, so what we're going to do is I have some chocolate here that's sitting at about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. This came out of the Melanger about an hour ago, and I'm just keeping it warm. A first point to make that differs from a lot of what you may read out there is if it's fluid and it's in the Melanger, there are no cocoa butter crystals. A lot of places tell you to heat it up to 120 or 110, and frankly, that's excessive. Anything over 100 degrees, there's no crystals around. So save yourself some time. Don't take it out of the Melanger at 105 and heat it up to 120. You're just wasting time. Understand what's going on. Your whole goal is to start with a bowl of chocolate that has no crystal structure. That's simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour about a third of that. And I say about, and it's just based on experience, how much to use. And we're going to chill this down by stirring it. We're just going to cool it down. If I want to go a little faster, and I may, I'm going to put it into this cold water bath. It's about 10 degrees colder than I want to get it to. So this is sitting at, this is the whole point I wanted to show you on this. This is actually sitting at about 65 degrees. We want to go to about 80, means I want this at about 70. So I'm just going to get a little hot water, mix it in, and it's quite hot water. There we go, that's 69. That's okay. I said just about. It's actually not too cold. You put this into ice water and the edges of your chocolate are just going to solidify on the bowl and it's going to be hard to work with. You just want a gentle one to help bring this temperature down in a reasonable amount of time. You don't have to do it. I'm just trying to save you a little time, that's all. You want to let it cool on the counter for an hour, sure, do it. But this makes it speed along and why waste time? All right, I'm going to verify again. I don't want any water in this. Shouldn't be any here, but let's just make sure. Before I go any further, because I'm going to put it in this, I'm going to gently check this. And all I'm checking here is that my water level doesn't come anywhere close to the edge of the bowl. So while I'm stirring, I don't get any flow over. Same with this. I already checked it because this had been in there, but same deal. Be meticulous about, did I wipe it? Be sure, because you're going to pour. We don't want water dripping in. So anyway, just going to give that a stir. And like I said, I'm going to eyeball it. It's not a critical amount. Your point is to form some type 5. crystals. And actually at the same point, we're going to form type 4 and type 3. And I'm going to talk through that. So anyway, that's there. Let's see how this is holding. Okay, so I want that to start cooling off, and it's going to that way. It was at 100. I want it probably 95 or so that by the time I mix 95-degree chocolate with 80-degree chocolate, we're going to meet in the middle ballpark of 86 to 88 degrees, which is our temper zone we want for this chocolate. A little cooler because we're actually doing milk chocolate. So anyway, so right this second, what we have in here is no crystals. And again, there's nothing magical about this stirring. I am dropping it high because I want it to give off heat. I want to chill it. So, you know, you will hear some people talk about shear and table tempering or slab tempering, which we may do a video on. You put the chocolate on the table and you scrape it. And some people think the shear does something, some don't. I am of the personal belief that it's a mutated bit of knowledge, that shear is good in industrial tempering machines. But you really can't give good shear on a table. People tend to think it is, but it's not really. So it works just as well if you let it sit there. You're stirring to keep it homogeneous. That's the only reason. Nothing else magical. So I'm going to go ahead, just to show you what I'm doing, is pull my cold water in, real gentle. We don't need water. Making sure my fingers are dry. And I'm just stirring. That is all I'm doing. And my goal here is to get it down. Okay, we're already starting to get there. We're already down to 88 degrees here. So the question I always get is, why can't we just mold up that 88 degrees? Won't type 5 just form? And it won't. It seems logical that it should because we come back to that temperature and it's there. But the short of it is it's too energetic to form. It'll stay stable once it's built. Think of a set of blocks maybe. You know, you can have a set of blocks here and shake them up and they're never going to form anything. But if you take your time and build them up and then shake the whole platform, it's going to stay in place. That's sort of the difference. So we need to build the blocks. And in order to do that, we have to keep chilling it down. But the consequence of that is we are going to form type 4 crystals at the same time, and also possibly some type 3 crystals. It's going to happen. But that's okay. So I've got a very small amount of chocolate here. So it is coming down very quickly. And actually, I think I'm looking here. I'm getting a little thickening. It is down to already, because I had a cool water bath, it's down already to about 82 degrees. And what I'm actually looking for, I'm not going to watch a temperature, or no more to the point than to give me an idea how close I am. I'm going to wait until this starts to thicken and trace is what I see. And trace just means I can move it around, and I'm going to see it sitting there. It's starting to thicken. At 82 degrees, I've got some type 4 forming, and I've got some type 5 in here. But I want a big crop of type 5. So that's why we keep forming, or keep cooling, is I want a lot of it. And this is going to happen pretty fast. It's going to start, cascading is the term I like to use, meaning the crystals are going to form faster and faster. And so it's worth watching and drizzling. And there we go. I am just starting to get some trace. So this chocolate I'm watching, and what's happening is, I can't tilt it. It goes away. I can see it on the surface. And you'll learn, but that's what you're looking for. You don't want to go so far as it gets thick. So, and again, you won't ruin anything. The only reason you don't want it to go thick is it's a pain to work with. That's all. That's simple. It's just a practical matter.